Okay, Dodge fans, the Dodge Demon. This is the original Dodge Demon. 1971 Butterscotch H code 340 car. In 2018, Dodge reintroduced the Demon nameplate in an 840 horsepower, basically factory race car. And then 2023, on the last call, they introduced the Demon 170 with 1,000 horsepower, and they're based on this car. Back then in 71, you still had high performance and high compression, and that's what this car was. It was made in the Los Angeles plant, 340 car with a 391 gear set from the factory. It's A31 performance axle package. That gets packaged with maximum cooling and a torque fan for cooling. So also notable is this was the last edition of the Dodge Scat Pack, the performance family of cars in the Dodge lineup. And that was the last year for Scat Pack too, 71. So you can see the little Scat Pack B in the rear window. Again, this car has the crazy interior of M1XX. That's code for the houndstooth. And you can see 71 is the only year that received the Rally Dash, same as like you would get in a Barracuda. So only the 340s got them. And there you got your little Demon figure there. And that kind of gives us a little history lesson on what happened and how this car came to be. It all started actually with the Plymouth counterpart, the Duster. In 1970, Plymouth had moved the Barracuda off the A-body platform onto a new platform, the E-body platform, and created what's called the Cuda. And that left a spot for a sport model. And very simply, they had a very limited budget. And they just created a Valiant front end and put this fastback on it, as you see, and they made the Plymouth Duster. They were going to use the Tasmanian Devil from Warner Brothers, but that didn't work out like it had with the Roadrunner that they had done. So instead of using the Tasmanian Devil, they just created their own little tornado figure that you'll see on the Dusters all the time. And likewise, Dodge did their own little cartoon devil for the Demon. But anyway, as you know, Dodge and Plymouth were competing against other makes and also a lot of the foreign models that were hitting the market. And then also Dodge and Plymouth were competing against each other. So when the Duster was introduced in 1970, it sold just short of 300,000 units, and Dodge was pissed off because here comes Plymouth, the lower division, with a 300,000 unit order, or a sales year, and they were pretty upset. So for the first time, Dodge just created their own version of the Duster on the Plymouth architecture. This is the very first example where Dodge went to the 108-inch wheelbase. If you recall, Dusters and Barracudas and the Plymouths are all shorter than Dodge, which is on a 111-inch wheelbase. Swingers were longer than them. Hell, even the 70 Challenger is longer than the Plymouth Cuda. So this is the first time that Dodge went to the small wheelbase on the 108-inch Plymouth architecture. So let's take a look. These scoops are somewhat functional. There's a hole in the hood under them. And then also, here's another point I wanted to make. If you've seen Dusters before, they have a chrome 340 with a chrome ring around here. On the Demon, there was nothing, and it's all blacked out. If you look at the original factory literature, you will see that it is so. So for you guys that have that stuff on there, you might want to consider taking it off. Just kidding. It doesn't matter that much, but here's what makes this particular car formidable. That is a 408 stroker. It's a 360 block, aluminum heads, Edelbrock heads, with a stroker kit, and that's why they call it the 408. It's got a big fat Holly on there, and of course, as you can see, the A31 right here, that's your performance axle package from the factory. That's a 391 gear set. So with that, you have a 391 gear, and you also get max cooling as part of the package. Torque fan, bigger radiator, which that's the correct radiator right there. And well, in any event, this car comes from the Los Angeles plant. That's another special thing about it. I know what somebody did. I don't have the actual history on the car, but it's a bare bones 340, 391 sure grip from the factory, column shift automatic. I know a lot of LA cars came with column shift automatic because the plant closed at the end of 1971. So I'm guessing it's either they had a bunch of them in stock and they just put them in the cars, or somebody ordered it as an automatic as a car to take down the track, which I think is probable with this because there's no power items on it. You have manual front disc brakes and a 391 gear set. It was set up for racing right from the get-go. As you can see here, it won second place at 2022 Big Daddy John Garlitz, one of the GOAT of the drag racing world. He's 90 or 91 now, and he signed the car, and I was really happy that I got to have him sign it because I think that's a great addition to the car. You know, a Mopar drag racing legend took the time to sign my car. So you see the scoops? The scoops gulp the air in here, and then these holes right here line up right here with these holes in the air cleaner. So you can see that closes right in front of it. So I don't think you get ram air, but I mean, if you're going over 100 miles an hour, it's sending some air directly into the engine. So it's a rudimentary type of fresh air package that was still being used. It was an inexpensive way to do it, I guess, but anyway, the engine, transmission, shift kit, pretty big torque converter on this thing. I'm going to guess probably 2800 because it comes in late, but boy, I'll tell you what, when it comes in, this car gets with the program. This is not a racetrack race car, but it's a very aggressive street car, and somebody has built it that way, and I'm not complaining because it's really nice. Let's give it a listen. Okay, we're up at 65. Okay. So the nice thing about it is the cam profile in this is the way it's set up. It's kind of like a light switch. It's off at idle, and then you hit the gas, and it's like full bore. It's like it has a real angry sound to it. So it is several levels above stock, but yet streetable. Hell, I drove it up the highway to Garlitz. And that's 2.5 hours each way, and it ran perfectly. So, the original Dodge Demon, the inspiration for today's cars. And with the car just about 3,000 pounds, and you put that 340 in it with a 391, the big block, stock big block cars didn't have a chance. They're like 500-600 pounds more, and the torque, it could not make up for it. And that's why these things were the terrors on the street back then. There you have it. The original Dodge Demon. 71. H code 340, Butterscotch, M1XX houndstooth interior, and an A31 performance axle package from the factory, from the Los Angeles plant. This is Gauze Garage here in South Venice. Thank you.